All right, welcome back everyone to the Financial Summit YouTube channel. I apologize for not being able to stream on Thursday or Friday as the reason why you don't see a stream from me every day uh, is because like I am just not near a computer or I have no internet access or it's just impossible. Occasionally, there's just nothing going on and it makes no sense to stream. And on the weekends, I try to take days off. But because I couldn't bring you a stream on Thursday or Friday, uh, uh, I had to do it today. It's already kind of late in Japan, so Matt is not being has not been able to join. Let's go to screen share. Just as a heads up, in 40 minutes, head on over to my personal YouTube channel where I will premiere my interview with Nico. The interview is a week old. I had this video like 3-4 days ago, but I wanted to premiere it. I wanted to be live in the comments for those that would watch it live. And I just couldn't do it at any point other than now. As you can see, I am back in the office in Panama. And here I actually have some time to catch up on life because El Salvador didn't give me any free time. I was also out hiking, out in nature, had a bunch of meetings about, non-Bitcoin future for some of us. So totally could not be there covering the MRI and weekly and daily green diamond recovery. But we literally did a video the day before where I discussed that, hey guys, the daily MRI buy is coming on Friday. Just watch any video Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I kept talking about Friday being the opportunity to buy. And the more we crash on an MRI buy, the more happy I am to catch the falling knife and buy the dip. Matt is the trader for basically both of us. Matt was able to execute an incredible trade. I can, verify if you trust me. I mean, don't trust verify, but I, uh, I'm verifying that Matt had a beautiful buying opportunity and he took it. Why wouldn't he? He's a believer in the MRI and he has his own indicators where the weekly and the daily gave him the green diamond. We came down into the 200-day moving average. We came down into the MRI support line. I don't know if this is going to be the low for 2026. But what I do know is that everything, the stars, the moon, everything in technical analysis that I have ever talked about for the last 10 years came in right at $10,000. Okay. So this is one of those rare occasions where I am risking the catch of a falling knife because everything aligned. Uh, Everybody panicked and it fell right into the perfect area for buying. I've been talking about 60,000 on this channel many times. You can go back to the other videos. I think it was on a monthly chart. It was on the monthly chart where I talked about the 60,000 area more. And will this be the low for the year? It is possible. It is absolutely possible. I still think a lot depends on the attack on Bitcoin, the attack on Bitcoin's decentralization with BIP 110. I hope everyone watched if you go to my YouTube channel, I hope everybody watched my presentation. It would be in the videos section, not in the live section. So right here, it says past live streams. I really need to add another section here that says past videos because I don't post videos all that often. It's unfortunate that YouTube has separated live streams from videos. Videos are not live streams and live streams are live streams. and it's very, very annoying because like if I go to my home channel, like it's not even here, right? Like you don't even see videos. I need to figure out how to add the videos section because there's just not a lot of videos. I don't post a lot of scripted, edited content. It's just not something that I do. You can see that other than my presentation that I posted a few days ago, the prior video was a year ago, and the video before that was 3 years ago. So I just don't post videos. I only post live content. So I hope you watch this presentation. Everyone keeps asking me, how come I didn't talk about what the BIP actually does? I spent 30 minutes. That's all the time I had. This video is 30 minutes long, less than 30 minutes. So I had less than 30 minutes, right? If this video is, so they kind of scammed me on time. If this video is 27 minutes, 49 seconds, and then there is an intro, and I only had 25 minutes to, explain why BIP 110 destroys Bitcoin's decentralization. And everyone keeps asking me, well, how come you don't talk about the technicality of what the BIP does? And my answer is, it doesn't matter. The technical part of what the BIP does is irrelevant. What matters is the BIP itself can kill Bitcoin. It doesn't matter what's inside the BIP. The dangerous part of the BIP is the fact that this BIP is trying to get rammed through a decentralized network to centralize the network. That is the problem. The BIP itself is the problem, not the shit that's in it. And this is what people just don't understand. Anyway, please, I will be in the live chat for this in exactly 30 minutes. So let's get back to the price of Bitcoin and let's look at the big picture. What does it mean that Bitcoin is rebounding off of the $60,000 area? Well, the $60,000 area is very, very critical. And I'm really happy that we back tested this $60,000 area. This was the major resistance area of 2021 twice, and it was the consolidation area of the summer of 2024, a year and a half ago. And therefore, there is a decent chance that this is going to be the low for this current 4-year cycle. The 4-year cycle is not dead. I don't understand why people are screaming that the 4-year cycle is dead. Where's my 4-year cycle chart? The 4-year cycle is not dead. Here are your 4-year cycles going back in history. Here is the bullish version, and then I have the bearish version. Okay. In the bullish version of the 4-year cycle, Bitcoin is supposed to top between March of 2025 and October of 2025. As you can see, Bitcoin topped on October 6th of 2025. That is the 4-year cycle. Now, what else is in the 4-year cycle? Well, in this 4-year cycle, Bitcoin is supposed to bottom right here between September of 2026 and January of 2027. That's where the Bitcoin bottom should be. All 4 prior 4-year cycles, Bitcoin is in year 17. Bitcoin is 17 years old. So it's had 4 prior cycles. In each of those bear cycles, the bear cycle is different than the bull cycle. This is what a lot of people don't understand. The 4-year bull cycle, to me, begins the day of the halving or the day of inception. Okay, well, sort of, the day of the halving. But, here's the but. It's the day of the halving, not the day of inception of Bitcoin. And the reason is because for the first year and a half of Bitcoin's life, it had no price. So in the bull cycle, in the very first 4-year cycle, I begin the cycle from the moment Bitcoin acquired a tradable price. That's the start of the cycle in the first 4 years. So the first 4 years is not a full 4 years. The first 4 years is actually more like 3 years, starting in 2010, a year later, because that's when it got its first price. Okay. And you can see how all of them topped between March of 2025, this year, relatively speaking, and end of October. I have it as October 23rd is basically the last day. And we topped in there. And now for the bear part of the cycle, Bitcoin has always bottomed. And because remember, for the bear part of the cycle, I am using the full 4 years for the first Bitcoin halving. So in the bear cycle, it all lines up because if you use the original. So this is how I'm lining up the prices. So in the bear cycle, we could be going down for the next 6-7 months. Okay. And that's where the low historically has been made. I would love to think that the low has already been made, and we will see. But there are some issues with the low being made. First, I'll talk about the positive. The positive is we never had a proper pullback to 60,000, which is what I really like seeing. And we finally did. Here is the danger, however. If Bitcoin comes back to 60,000, we have a serious problem. If I go back to here, right here, this is the monthly chart. Maybe I should use the weekly chart. Let's go to the 2017 bear market. In the 2017 bear market, this right here in February of 2018, 2018 bear market, the 2017 top, the December 2017 top led to a serious correction. It was a 70% drop. If we use, daily to daily, so yeah, 70% drop. We had a 70% drop in less than a year. In what, December to February? Okay, a year. December 2017. Oh no, less than like 2 months. This is a weekly chart, not the monthly chart. And this could have been the low. But once we printed these, see right here, you had a very clean lower closing weekly low. And to me, this signals that the bear market is going to go down for a while. However, the intra-week low has not been broken yet. And this being a red star candle makes me very bearish, but I'm less confident that this is going to lead to significantly lower prices versus this. Once this candle prints in June of 2018, we now have a double bottom on we've broken the intraday low and we've established a new closing low. And it's clearly a double bottom at 60 if this did not make it clear. And since this moment, I was one of the biggest bears on the price of Bitcoin in the world. And I had one of the most popular YouTube channels in the world about Bitcoin. Okay, right here in the summer of 2018, I had one of the most popular YouTube channels in Bitcoin. This is before all my shadow bans. I was getting 30,000 views a day. That's probably more than any other channel today. That was what I was getting. I don't know if these videos are still publicly available. I had to take some videos down from being publicly available. Maybe I could go back and make them public again, but that was for more political reasons and shadow banning reasons. But if these videos are still public on my channel, they might be. I was getting 25, 30,000 views a day. I'm curious what the other popular channels are, like Simply Bitcoin. How many views are they getting? Oh, they're not even on YouTube anymore, I think. I don't even think they're on YouTube anymore. I think he's only on Rumble now. Yeah, 2 months ago. Oh, 6 days ago. They're still there. No, that's for you. That's not Simply Bitcoin. Is it Simply Bitcoin? I have no idea. YouTube is so hard to navigate now. It's insane. Yeah, 16 hours ago. They're still streaming. 15,000. Oh, there it is. 30,000. 44,000. Okay, so they are getting more views. But it has been 8 years. It has been 8 years, guys. And their live streams. Okay, so I'm getting more than their live streams. Right. I was getting like 25, 30,000 views. That's Simply Bitcoin. What about BTC sessions? His live stream, 17. Well, that's old. That's 4 years ago. 12,000, 12,000, 21,000, 13,000, 6,000. Yeah. So I was getting more views than this on a daily basis back then. I was getting like 25, 30,000 views. And his videos, 5,000. Oh, what happened there? 2,000. 28,000. That's good. Okay. So I was the biggest bear back then. And you can see what happened. You can see the end result of that. Okay. And that's because we came back and we touched the zone. And the reason I'm going off on this tangent is because if we go above, say, actually it doesn't matter if we go above or not. If we come back and start closing candles around 60,000, it means that we're heading this way. As long as we do not come back to 60,000, the bottom is in. The bottom is in as long as we do not come back and retest the 200-week moving average. As far as I'm concerned, based on how we bounced and based on where we bounced from, the 200-day moving average, 200-week moving average, sorry, we were only 3.5% off, okay? And the MRI support line have been tested. The 60,000 round number has been tested. I would have been more comfortable if the low was at 57,000 or 58,000, but being 60,100 is good enough. It is good enough. I always prefer to slightly go below the round number than slightly stay above the round number, but both screw traders up. People miss the buy because they use a round number of 60, and people get liquidated because they use a stop loss as a round psychological number of 60. So either one screws people up. The other thing that really gives it a bullish vibe is that you only had a few minutes to buy the low. This is how all lows are made in all markets. You only get a few minutes, maybe a few hours to buy the perfect low, just like you only get a few minutes or a few hours to sell the perfect top. Usually. Not everything is an obsolete, okay? Because you didn't get, 3 days to buy the perfect low. This has a very high probability of being the low for the cycle. Once again, one important thing needs to be true. We need to stay away from 60,000. In fact, we probably need to even stay away from 63,000. And if we do make it to 63,000, We need to do it so quickly that, and I'll show you an example of this. You need to get to 63,000 so quickly and rebound from 63,000 to new high so quickly that you get even a less time to buy the $63,000 low than you did buying the $60,000 low. Let me show you an example of what I mean. If we go back to the daily chart and we go to the COVID crash, right here, on the COVID crash, you only had a few hours to buy the low. And it wasn't a daily MRI buy either, right? You got the MRI buy a few days later, but look what happened on this MRI buy a few days later. You had another incredible opportunity to buy the low. It wasn't as low. It wasn't 3,800. It was 4,400. Is there a big difference between the two? You know, it was, well, 13% on the upside, but on the downside, it would have been less. 11% on the downside, right? So that's the difference, right? But look at that difference to today. The difference is, what, $600? $500. The difference is $500. Today, Bitcoin is 60,000. Does $500 make a difference? No. But look what happened here. You did get a secondary chance to buy it, but it was equally as quick as the original chance and not as good as the original chance. So I can envision something like this happening in the next 6-7 days, giving you a second opportunity to buy Bitcoin. But if this wasn't an MRI buy, let's say this was the MRI buy candle. The actual low was the MRI buy candle. And then this candle was a red star candle that closed, let's say, at 4,200. Let's say this was, well, I can't really, I guess I can draw a red box, right? Let's say this candle was more like this. And I could make this very red on the inside, right? Let's say this candle was this candle and it closed down here. I would have been super bearish, calling for 1,500 once again, right? Because this would give me a new daily closing low. And even worse, if, let's say, on top of that, this candle also had a wick. Can't even draw. This candle also had, a wick that made this candle swing lower than the other candle. And this wick was very short, giving us a close near the wick. I would have been insanely bearish anticipating this. But that's not the candle that we got. We got a secondary hammer reversal candle. You will see positive tone base volume on this candle right here. And it had a nice big volume spike right here, okay? This is the positive tone base volume on a red candle with an MRI buy. So this was the secondary buying opportunity. There goes Matt's green diamond on the daily chart. Let's see what it looked like on the weekly chart during COVID. The weekly chart did not give him a green star candle, but you can see that the 200-week moving average held and the MRI support line held. So that was great. All right, I should look at your comments now, but let me finish with the price. So this has a very good opportunity to send us to new all-time highs, even though the Knots attack on Bitcoin is ongoing, and I think it's still going to be a problem, which is my biggest concern for the Bitcoin entering the bull market. Not a single miner has signaled for it yet because miners aren't that stupid. There is one miner who I respect who will be signaling for this, and I'm very concerned as to why. And I probably need to spend a little more time with with that miner to try and explain how dangerous this BIP 110 fork actually is. So um, I, I'm gonna keep doing content for now about the BIP. 90%, let me rephrase that, 99% of all technical people in Bitcoin, people that I respect for their knowledge of the Bitcoin network, people that I can say know as much as me or know more than me about the Bitcoin network. 99% of these people all think this BIP 110 is a nothing burger and I'm a total idiot for giving it so much attention. I disagree with them on it being a nothing burger, and I disagree with them that it needs to be ignored. I think people need to be educated on how dangerous this fork actually is. So I do disagree with the people I respect, but there just aren't that many people who I respect for their knowledge of the Bitcoin network on the BIP 110 side. There's a few more of these people that are pro knots, but there is like two or three of these people that are pro BIP 110. And Luke Dashjur is one of these people, right? Luke Dashjur is one of the people who is on my list of people who know at least as much or more than me about the Bitcoin network, right? So obviously, I would put Luke in the more than me section. But uh, that it doesn't matter if the person, if I respect the person for their more in-depth knowledge of the Bitcoin network or on equal footing as me. And it's, all my opinion based. Like, who do I respect for their knowledge? And it's a combination of time spent in the Bitcoin world. It's their economic contributions to the Bitcoin world. Do they run a business? Have they in Bitcoin? How much do they depend on Bitcoin? How much Bitcoin they have is factored in. Not the biggest factor, but it's factored in. Also, do they have experience mining? Are they mining? Do they have experience coding? Are they coding? Have they coded in the Bitcoin network? Have they reviewed code in the Bitcoin network? These are the things that I analyze in order to uh, respect the person for their equal knowledge of the Bitcoin network as me or greater knowledge of the Bitcoin network than me. So someone like Luke Dashjur falls into that category of someone that is more knowledgeable than me when it comes to the Bitcoin network. The problem is I also know about 100 people that are on par with Luke, and they are on the opposite side of Luke. And then you have people that I believe know as much as me about the Bitcoin network, and someone like Bitcoin Mechanic would fall into that bucket of someone that knows about the same as I do about the Bitcoin network. But again, you have to factor other things into account. How long has he been in? What he's done for the Bitcoin network over the years, and so on and so on. Okay. Including how much Bitcoin a person has. Like, I'm sorry, how much Bitcoin a person has matters. And I'll tell you why it matters. It matters because if you don't have any Bitcoin, if let's say your Bitcoin was hacked and you have zero Bitcoin, you are not as incentivized to preserve the Bitcoin network. You are more incentivized to crash the Bitcoin network to the lowest price possible and then try to buy as much Bitcoin as possible. And hope that Bitcoin recovers and goes to new all-time high after it crashes. So how much Bitcoin you have does factor into the equation. I don't want to hear bullshit. The price of Bitcoin doesn't matter. The price of Bitcoin matters. Okay. And how much Bitcoin you hold matters. Just like when you sell Bitcoin or you short Bitcoin, you want the price of Bitcoin to go down. So you buy more Bitcoin. Okay. So when I am on a mission to find a single human being with over 100 Bitcoin, verifiably over 100 Bitcoin. How can you verify you have over 100 Bitcoin? You can sign a transaction with a wallet that has over 100 Bitcoin, or I believe that you have over 100 Bitcoin. So for example, I believe that Adam Back has over 100 Bitcoin. Okay. I don't need Adam Back to sign a transaction proving to me that he has over 100 Bitcoin. Okay. Luke Jr., on the other hand, I do not believe has over 100 Bitcoin. So I would need him to sign a transaction over 100 Bitcoin. Ocean Mining Pool might have over 100 Bitcoin, but I highly doubt it. I don't think they've made that much money, right? I don't believe someone like Mechanic has over 100 Bitcoin, so I would need him to sign a transaction, right? But someone like Michael Saylor, I don't need him to sign a transaction. I believe he has over 100 Bitcoin. And the reason why I am looking for someone that has over 100 Bitcoin is because I want this person to explain to me on another Core versus Blockstream podcast why this person with over 100 Bitcoin verifiably, or I trust that they have it, is willing to risk the complete disruption of the Bitcoin network that could potentially crash the price to incredible lows. Like I want to know the logic. I want to know the reasoning why this person is willing to risk 100 Bitcoin fortune. If I'm not able to find a person with 100 Bitcoin, I will lower it to 50. If I'm not able to find a person with 50, I will lower it to 25. If I'm not able to find a person with 25 Bitcoin that is willing to explain that is pro BIP 110, I will lower it to 10 Bitcoin. Because I don't think these people exist. I don't think there is anyone that will put their entire reputation on the line with a Bitcoin stack of over 25 Bitcoin. Definitely, probably not over 100. Definitely not over 1,000. Okay? So find me one person. Okay? I mean, maybe Matthew Crowder, right? I don't know how much Bitcoin Matthew Crowder has. Okay? I have no idea. But if someone that is proactive BIP 110 and I believe them, or they can prove to me that they have over 50 Bitcoin, I want to put them on my channel and I want them to explain to me why that life-changing future amount of Bitcoin that they have. Because remember, if you have like, I don't know if it's 1 Bitcoin or 3 Bitcoin, you're already in like the 0.1% or something, right? Hold on. I mean, these are simple Google searches, right? What percent of world population has $100,000? Let's go $100,000, right? Bitcoin was just $100,000 the other day. 12%? No. Really? Wow. I did not think it was that high. Shit. Wow. But that's just one Bitcoin, right? So one Bitcoin, let's say one Bitcoin, 100,000. So 100,000 to 1 million is 12% of global adults? Does this sound right to you guys? There's like 7 billion people on the planet. You're telling me 12% of them have $100,000? Up to 1 million? Like 1 billion people have $100,000? This can't be right. This can't be right. I know how much money printing we've had. This can't be right. Well, sure, net worth. I mean, I am talking disposable, right? So, all right, 1%. Let's go with 1 million, right? 100,000 net worth. I guess it's 1 billion people. You're right. Like all the Europeans have a house that's worth over 100,000. So net worth, sure. Let's go disposable. Has 100,000 or more in bank account. How about that? Bank account. Let's see. Anyway, you guys get the point, right? If you have like 10 to 20 Bitcoin, so 10 Bitcoin is 600,000. So let's say 1 million. Well, let's move it up to 1 million. Okay. So if we're 1 million, you're less than 1% of the population. You're 1% of the population. Okay. So if you have 50 Bitcoin, that puts you like at $3-4 million right now. Even now, it puts you at 3-4 million, right? 50 Bitcoin is what, about 3 million? So 10 Bitcoin, 600,000. Yeah, 100 Bitcoin is 6 million. So yeah, so that's $3 million. Right. You're in the 0.5% or something, okay? Like of the world's population. And I want to know why you are pro BIP 110. I honestly want to know. So I'm gonna tweet out, and anyone is welcome. Well, like I don't even need to know the person. If I don't know the person, they'll have to prove it to me that they have 50 or 100 Bitcoin. If I know the person and I believe them, then they don't need to prove it to me. Anyway, you guys get the point. I have to go to my own YouTube channel and watch the premiere now. So I don't even know how I got on this tangent. To me, this is still a big problem. So as far as the price is concerned, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. I think there will be another opportunity to buy Bitcoin around 65 for those that missed 60. But then if you buy at 65 and you see it go back to 60, we are going significantly lower. So that's what I wanted to close on. Let me look at your live chat real quick. I have exactly 2 minutes. And then we're going to shoot over to the Tone Vase YouTube channel right here in videos. And this is going to stream live in 2 minutes. Preview will begin shortly. All right, let's look at your comments until this starts. I always, like, more than half my feedback I get is always my haters. My haters are my biggest fans. I wasn't anywhere near a computer on Thursday when this was happening. I was literally hiking a volcano in El Salvador. I was nowhere near the computer. I was in the middle of nowhere near a volcano. If you guys really want to know where I was, because I'm not there anymore. Like, oh, I need to go to El Salvador, not Panama. El Salvador. Like, this is where I was. This is the volcano I was hiking. Oh, well, not this lake. Sorry, this volcano. I was here. I was literally here. I was taking pictures of this. I just don't post a lot. I should be posting it to Instagram. I was here and I was staying here. This is such an awesome hotel at the top of the volcano. This is where I was. It's like and I was the driver because I oh, here we go. And all right, we got I gotta mute this. We got 2 minutes. And I was the driver, right? So I'm also like hosting people and driving up here to the hotel, talking to the owner of the hotel because I want to build something interesting in Prospera. So this is gonna be like one of my great connects who happens to be maybe even watching the stream right now because he know. I'm not gonna say he's a huge fan, but he's definitely familiar with my work. Maybe he is a fan. And then we went hiking the actual volcano. Like, this was my plan. Like, I'm not gonna cancel my plan with people and meetings with very high senior people just because the price of Bitcoin is moving. Sorry, guys. All right, I'm not gonna get to most of your live comments, but there we go. 49 seconds. I already talked about Epstein on a prior video. Go watch it. What's the URL for the website? It should be in the video description or it's in my video description. So right here, if you want that website, literally it's right here. Fork Monitor Nodes. That's the website. It's in the video description of the video we're all going to watch. All right, we got 10 seconds. I'm going to end this video and I'll see you all in the live chat right here. Thanks